Would you ever consider cosmetic surgery? Like I know you said
Yes.
tummy tuck, but would you do everything or?
I beg my husband for it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I just please get it?
Yeah.
Like, I found the surgeon. I just don't have the money. But I found like the perfect surgeon and I want everything. Like, he'll tell me, like, lose weight and I'll pay for like your boobs. I'm like, no, I want everything.
Yeah.
I want a whole mommy makeover.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Overthinking. I am your host, Jessica Frausto, and today we have a special guest. She is a mother and a wife, and my sister-in-law, Genesis.
Hello.
Hi. I'm a clap.
Thank you.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for making time again. I'm gonna just kind of like backstory of this. We had already recorded our episode, and we had like audio difficulties, so we had to like re-record again. So thank you for making time. I know it's like hard working with your schedule.
A little bit. Just the kids, like they consume a lot.
They consume a lot of your energy.
Yeah, and time and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but no problem.
Thank
Pero ya estoy arreglada para el resto del día.
I know.
Yeah.
Te sirve. A mí también,
Yes.
porque no me arreglo.
No,
I'm like, dang. Cuando te texté, I was like, hey, do you want to record again? And you like said yes. And this morning, I was like, oh, man. I wanted to record, but I was so lazy on getting ready.
Yes, it takes forever. And
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I hate, like how time consuming it is for a woman to have to get ready.
I mean, for a woman alone, like itself, it's time consuming. But, you know, you being a mom.
Oh, yeah, then you have to get the kids ready. And
Do you put them to sleep or you just like...
I'm the two oldest. I have to tell them go to bed already because they have school, and then they're like, come and hug us. So I have to like hug them and stuff till they fall asleep. And then the two youngest, they're running around the house pretty much following my husband and I till like we go, because they go to sleep with us till like we go to, if I tell them go to sleep, they're not gonna go to sleep till we're all in bed together.
Then you said like you go to sleep until like 1?
Yes, I go to sleep usually till 1 because I have just things to do. And then I'll wake up. I was waking up at 5, but I've been so tired. Like as of January para acá, I've been very, very tired. So I've been waking up at 6. But yes, I go to sleep till 1 because I'm just doing stuff around the house or just little things. And then also like sometimes I'm just in bed and I should be going to sleep. Pero batallo, or that's my only alone time, and like I'm on the phone, and then my husband's like, go to sleep already, you have to wake up early. But I'm like, this is like my only time to like not be bothered.
Right. So what do you do like on your free time? You just be on your phone?
I mean, free time is just like in bed, and I'll be on my phone because it's already like I'm trying to go to sleep and I know I should be asleep, but I'm like, I also want to like be nosy, or like sometimes I'll watch like a Netflix show or something. That's when I get like 30 minutes to watch it. Usually I watch everything like in pausas. Or like the podcast, I'll put on my headphones and I'm like cooking, or like when I'm getting the kids ready for school in the morning, that's when I'll be able to do it, or I'll watch them at night. That's my free time, just usually catching up on a show or a podcast or something.
Right. So that's why you go to sleep at 1.
Yes. That's my only alone time. I mean, no, but I'm doing things around the house either way, like I have to get the kids' backpacks ready and like make sure that I have like their snacks and stuff like that. So
right. We talked about free time. We talked about so much on the last episode. I was so bummed out with the audio, but as I had previously mentioned, someone had asked like regarding like advice and just like to talk about like being a stay-at-home mom while your husband works. And obviously I'm not one, so I couldn't really relate, and I felt like you were the right person for that topic. So if you don't mind, like I don't know, just like telling or sharing like a little bit about like the challenges. What do you struggle with the most?
Laundry.
Laundry. Oh, that's one of my
I mean, if it's hard for like just one for a family of 6, and then I hate doing the kids' laundry because it's so many little pieces.
It's a family of 6?
Yeah.
Hold on. What's
Juan, me, Jimena, Yair, Sared, Arlet. 6.
Don't forget how many dogs do you have?
5.
5.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Laundry.
Yes. Laundry is a huge struggle. Also, even like the smallest thing, like trying to figure out what to cook. Nobody likes the same thing.
Oh my God.
That's hard. For me, like something that I struggle with is like identity. Like I feel like I have no identity. I feel like I'm just mom and wife right now, and I've been struggling for that with that, I guess for the past almost 8 years, um, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm just mom. Like seriously, I'm just mom. I don't do anything outside of being mom, and I feel like it's my fault. A lot of and Juan tells me too. Like my husband, he'll be like, you should go out then if you're like frustrated and you feel like you're not. You go out for like brunch or something with friends, but then I'm like, I don't have friends, and he's like, well, that's your fault, and it is my fault. I choose not to have friends.
Why is that though?
Because I don't have the time for it. Really, I feel like as a friend, on their end, they're also gonna need you at some point, and it's like, okay, I don't have the time to really be there for someone because I'm already like trying to be there for 4 kids, and my husband and myself, and just things to do. Also, a lot of people nowadays they want to be going out. I don't have the time. It's also expensive, especially you just bills and everything with the kids. It's expensive, so I find it selfish to want to spend money on myself. I do it every once in a while, but like I'll get my hair done every 6 months. I get my nails done only if I'm gonna really go out somewhere. I feel because I feel selfish. I feel like my kids should come first, and I'm like, okay, I want to get my nails done, but I'm like, oh, my oldest needs a new pair of shoes or something, and I'm like, I'd rather spend it on them. So little things like that, and with friends, it takes time, it takes energy, it takes money.
Yeah.
And also, I don't think anyone is gonna want to hear me just talk about my kids because that's all I have to talk about.
But what if there's like other moms that feel the same way?
But
Or you think it'll be drainful, like
I
hearing
feel like
them out
it's
too?
drainful. Not necessarily hearing them out, but I feel like you're frustrated with the same thing, and I'm telling you because like my sister, she's also a stay-at-home mom, and like when we talk on the phone, it gets hard because I'm yelling at the kid and my kid like, stop fighting, do this, do that, do your homework, and then she's doing the same, so that's hard. It's not so because I don't want to hear it out. It's just I feel like
Like
for that. I mean, I
just
have
don't
my
the
sister.
time,
Like I don't have the time. I feel like right now, I have my sister. Like I don't have friends, but I have like my sister, and I have Karen, who is my friend, but I feel like I see her more of like part of like a family.
Right.
I've known her for so long now. So I feel like that's more like family, and those are when we have like a little group chat, my sister Karen and I, and that's about the only people that I will talk to like during the week every few times, just messages, and it's very short because they're all busy with their kids or whatever's going on. Yeah.
So you'll say that you struggle more with like identity. Does it bother you when like people describes you as like a stay-at-home mom?
It doesn't bother me because that is what I am, but what bothers me is people thinking the stay-at-home moms don't do anything. I feel like people just see like, oh, she's a stay-at-home mom, she doesn't have to do anything, she's just at home. But no, you're not just chilling. Like even when I'm chilling, I'm like the kids are like, do this, do that, and sometimes I feel like I don't get to take a break, but because they're always, you always need to do something.
Yeah.
But you have to cook and clean, and yes, thank God my husband will sometimes be like, well, ve mejor a comprar algo de comer if you don't have the time. So but you still have so much to do at home. Even being there for your kids, get ideas, they feel emotional, you have to be there for them, as a support system or to talk to them. My 4-year-old right now is just every 2 minutes, play with me, play with me, play with me, play with me. Even playing, it is time consuming, and it's very like it's draining. Like we're always playing every single day is the same type of game. So you have to care for someone. You're caring for someone, you're caring for a home. So you're not just at home watching TV doing something.
It's like you're caring for everyone except for yourself.
I feel like I put myself last. And even when we get ready, like we're gonna go out, I feel like I have to get everyone ready, and then I'm at the end, and I feel like it's very time consuming, like I said, for a woman to get ready. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's my turn to get ready, and I need forever. So it's usually it's either hair or makeup, or something very like I'm always in a bun. I'm always in a bun, even just that. Right now, my self-care has been going to the gym. I know que no se nota because I still eat a lot. Like that's my problem. I'm still eating, but I was also struggling. Besides identity, I was struggling with my weight, which is another thing. I feel like as a mom or as a woman, you're struggling. But after having 4 kids, your body just completely changes. Completely. Well, at least for me, it changed, and I had them pretty much back to back.
Yeah.
So I gained weight. Before I got pregnant with my first one, I was I think like I don't know, I was at 128 I think, and I'm only 5'1". And even then though, I was like, oh, I'm fat. But I was just like, 'cause I see pictures now, and I'm like, what was I thinking?
It always happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like a size 5 jeans or 3, depending on the jeans. And I was like, I was fat, but now I see pictures. I'm like, what were you thinking? You were not fat then. You're fat now. And then the day before I gave birth to my oldest, they weighed me at the OBGYN, and I was 184, I think. And it was like a lot of, I mean, I gained weight, but it was mainly like que retienes líquido.
Okay.
But I was just still huge. And after I gave birth, I went from, like I said, a size 3 or 5 in jeans to a size 9. And I was stuck there for like forever.
Right.
And I would like cry, like whenever I had to, like, we would go out and my husband like get ready, and then I would like try on the clothes, and like no me gustaba como me quedaba, and I'll be crying, and he would always tell me like, if you don't like it, do something about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, like it's just hard,
Yeah.
And I know I should have been doing something about it, but it was just hard. And then I did start like jogging a bit with him, and I didn't like really lose weight, but I saw like a slight difference. Obviously, it takes time to lose weight.
Right.
But then right when felt like I was looking a little okay, I got pregnant again.
Oh.
With Yair. And then after him, it was, but I was still like, it was just at home stuff. And then after him, I breastfed him, and I feel like it helped because I lost weight. I did, like, I saw pictures of myself then, and I was like, wow, I did lose a lot of weight. I'm sorry. But then I got pregnant again with Saret. And then after her, I gained weight again. And I went back to a size 9. I feel like my girls are the ones who have made me gain the most weight. Because I was a size 9 with her. Even though I breastfed her también, just breastfeeding, I wasn't losing the weight that I did with my son.
Okay.
And then, we had her. And then I got pregnant again. And then that's when I had Arlet. And after that, I was just like very frustrated. And then I kept telling my husband, like, I'm just getting older and I'm getting fatter. And he would always tell me, well, if you don't like it, do something about it. So we did start working out at home. But I would get bothered with him telling me what to do. Not because I didn't want to do it, but I feel like it was more so I was like embarrassed because I really never had, like when I was younger, I didn't have to work. Well, I thought I should have worked out, but I didn't work out because I was so thin. So I was like, okay, I'm skinny. I was like a size 0 or 1 in high school, and I had always been that. And before I turned 21, I was never over 100 pounds.
At 21?
Yeah, at 21, I was like 99 pounds, and then I started going out and drinking. So when I turned, that was at 20, and then like at 21, I was really drinking, going out and stuff. And then in 1 year, I went from like 99 pounds to like 115. But it was just drinking. But at that time, the weight was going to the right places. Okay. So I was happy with that.
You didn't mind the extra
I didn't
pounds.
mind it.
Right.
But then, as you get older still, your body changes. And I didn't have kids then. That's when I was like, from 21 and después, I was like, oh, I'm fat, which I wasn't because I see pictures now and I wasn't. But then after you had kids, and then after my last baby, I was at 144. And that's when I started working out with my husband. But like I said, I was getting bothered. But it was more so like I was embarrassed that I was like, what if I'm not doing this right? And he's staring at me. He's probably like, you're doing it wrong or something. So I ended up looking for an all-female gym because I'm like, I'm not going to go to a regular gym and not know what I'm doing and just look stupid. And then you see something like on Instagram or whatever, TikTok videos of people recording other people at the gym and you look dumb.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, I'm not going to be that person, or I hope not to be. And thank God I did find an all-female gym in the Pasadena area, which was still far from me.
Yeah.
I was so nervous the first day I went, but I'm so thankful. It was great. It was great. And after 3 months, I started seeing a difference. Like I started losing weight. And I wasn't eating a lot healthier, but I was eating less. But then, just things happen with kids. Like I said, it's in Pasadena. And for those, I live in Houston, it was still like a 30-minute drive.
You used to go every day?
I used to go Monday through Thursday. Monday through Thursday. Well, I found that gym and I was going Monday through Thursday for an hour. The gym is called Strong is Beautiful, I believe, if I'm not wrong. It's Alexia and she's great. And I was going, you know, it was like a 30-minute drive back and forth. And it was from Monday through Thursday for 1 hour. And I told my husband, because I started feeling good and I started liking it. But I was like, I don't want to like fall off that bad throughout like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And he's like, well, you could work out here. But like also, whenever we were working out at home, the kids would always go bother me. Like we'll be in the garage, like, Mom, I need this. Mom, I need that. And my husband would be right there, and they won't bother him.
Right.
They always go, Mom, Mom, Mom. So he kept working out, and I would have to like stop. So it was very frustrating. Um, and I'm like, no, I need to find like something else to do. And I found another all-female gym.
Yeah.
But this one was actually like a gym that you could like you know you get your membership and you'll go whatever. And this one was closer to me. This one was about 15 minutes away. And they had boot camps on Saturdays in the morning. And I saw the video and I told my husband, oh, I want to go. And he's like, okay, like you just started, now you're trying to be all fit. And it's not that, it's just that, you know, I started feeling good about myself.
And you started seeing results.
And, so I was going to go. And then I actually started looking at the videos and they look very intense. And I was like, oh, never mind. And he's like, no, now you're going.
Right.
I was very, even though I was already working out at the other gym, I was very nervous when I went here. Because then you don't know anyone and you have to start over. They were so welcoming as well. That's another gym that I also recommend. It's 6140 Fitness. And it's an all-female gym. They were great. And then, so I was working out Monday to Thursday. Friday, just whatever I did at home. If I did anything, I usually wouldn't.
Right.
And then Saturdays was boot camp. So I was, you know, doing that. And like I said, I was losing weight. I was feeling great. But then like my kids would be sick and like, oh, you couldn't go this day because you have to pick them up early from school or they stayed home and you have to stay with them. Yeah. And then in May, my third baby, she was in the hospital for 2 days. And after that, I literally like I fell off.
Oh.
Like I was just at home and like having to take care of the kids. And then they're always sick, especially being at school. My two oldest, they're always like getting sick because the rest of the kids are sick. And then they bring the germs home and everybody's sick at home. So it was just, I fell off from there and I would go every here and there to the gym. And then in October, I was like, no, I have to start again. And I found another gym, but this one was like female and male gym. But this one was 2 minutes away from my house.
Oh, it's more convenient.
Yes, a lot more because I'm not it's still, I try my best to not waste so much time on myself and even just the drive. And then also my husband has to work and I don't have no one else to watch the kids besides my husband. So I was like, okay, this one's 2 minutes away. And I started going there, which is where I'm going now. And I like it. I actually love it. The only reason why I'm not seeing results is because I'm still eating like a damn pig. And I eat a lot because I'm stressed and frustrated and lonely, which sucks because then I feel like I'm going to be 300 pounds if I don't stop. Right. But yeah, I struggle to find time for myself.
Do you feel like, I know you said that you're eating like stress eating because, girl, I deal with that too. Especially sometimes when it's like, it's not even about being bored. I guess you're just stressed and it's like you don't have anything else to do. And it's like,
you open the fridge.
Eating feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think that like, I don't know, maybe like this is like I don't want to call it like a side effect, but maybe like it's just like changes that are happening to you after like, giving birth. Like, I don't know if I don't want to call it depression, but.
Postpartum depression.
Right.
I don't think I don't want to say like I ever struggled with postpartum depression because whenever I see or, usually when you see on TV like, oh, this lady had postpartum depression, she ended up like hurting herself or the kids. So I was never there, but you do feel, well, at least I felt sad. I remember after I had my first baby, I would cry a lot in the shower. Sometimes I'd be like, why are you crying? But I do feel like I felt lonely at the time. At the time, we were still living, like, in the back of your mom's house. She has a little house there, and we were living there. And I'm the type, I don't like asking for help. I feel like when I'm asking for help, like, people are going to see you as weak or, like, can you do it yourself? Or, like, I'm bothering someone. So I would be like there in the back. And the only one person that I want que me ayude, because I feel like, okay, we're in it together, is my husband. But he has to work also because he has to provide for us. So I was just lonely. I didn't want to bother anyone to help me with my baby. And people are like, oh, he's just one child. But I wasn't used to kids. Right. I only have one sister. I don't have like, my cousins are also like around my age. The youngest is probably 10 years from me, but it's not like you really have babies running around my family.
On your side of the family.
Yes. My sister did have, her son is 1 year older than my oldest, but she lives also like 30 minutes away from me. So it's not like como que convivía con ella and I was able to deal with a baby. I didn't really know I didn't know how to change a diaper or like anything like that. I was also struggling with breastfeeding. Everybody like was telling me like, you should breastfeed. Yeah. And my baby wasn't latching on. I also dealt with, and even the smallest thing, like, I felt like I wasn't good enough, or like, damn, you can't even you can't even breastfeed your baby. Like, you suck at that. I felt like that. So I would feel sad about that. Like, because everybody was like, you should breastfeed. So it's something like you don't feel, te sientes incapaz de hacerlo, and like, ni siquiera eso puedes hacer. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? I also felt like I needed my mom at the time because I felt lonely. And I felt like my mom wouldn't really go much because she felt uncomfortable also going somewhere where it's not like, even to my house, like we have our own house now, and she doesn't like going porque siente que está molestando. I feel like, so I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah, you're like, no, I need you. Come.
Yes, exactly. But I feel very lonely at the time, so I will find myself crying then. And then when I have my son, it's like you're crying because you have 2 babies, and it's like, it's just so many things going on. After my 3rd baby, it wasn't, I feel like, okay, well, you have the hang of this. So, I mean, you have your days where you feel good, you feel bad. After my 4th, that's when I would cry a lot for a while.
For no reason? Or
it was mainly for no reason. It was, what was it? Like, it was for no reason. Like, I just felt sad. Like, I'll be there, but it's not like I didn't want, like, I see a lot of moms, like, I had postpartum depression and I didn't want the baby. It's not that. I wanted my babies. I feel like I needed my time alone a little bit, but I didn't want to leave them alone. And then, I don't know if this is like TMI, but like, so I didn't have any epidural when I gave birth with my kids. So like, you have to push hard and everything.
Con ninguno.
Like, con ninguno. Okay. Yeah. And they were all natural. Like, I didn't have a C-section or anything. I did have to be induced though. With all the girls, I had to be induced because they were not coming out on their own. My son is the only one that, like, I was able to give birth on my own, but I had to be induced. And they're like, push. And then with the last one, I feel like she was still too high up. But I felt like it was time for me to push because the contractions were like already really bad. So I told the doctor, like, no, it's time. So I was pushing for like 38 minutes. It was 38. And I had hemorrhoids. And they were bad. Oh, like, bad. Like, so I was crying because of the pain. Like, I wasn't comfortable laying down. I wasn't comfortable sitting down, standing up. I was just so uncomfortable.
Is that normal though? Like when you're pregnant to get that? Or?
Well, my wax lady said it's not. My wax lady said, she's like, I have so many moms coming in, and I know they're all moms, and they'll tell me like, oh yeah, it was during birth. Like, they came out during birth. Like, I didn't have hemorrhoids before having babies.
How do you even get those? Like, is it like when you make too much force?
Apparently de la fuerza.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what my doctor said, de la fuerza.
Like if you're constipated and
also constipation.
Because if you're constipated, then you have to use a lot of force.
Yes, no, a lot of people that my doctor told me that, he's like, okay, well, people who are people who are constipated or mothers are the ones that have them.
I wonder if I have them. Can you see them?
When they're really bad, yes, you can. You can. And my doctor was like, well, you can like have surgery to remove them, but they might come again, like, if you're constipated. And I actually, that's another thing that I struggle with after being a mother, being constipated. Yes, it's TMI, but it's true. It's like very, and I know I'm not the only mother. That's the thing. I've talked to a few mothers here and there, and they've struggled with the same thing. So like I said, I would cry because I was in pain. And thank God they were all natural, because I feel like I feel bad for the ones who had C-section, because I've heard that's very painful.
Yeah.
But I was crying because of the pain. I was crying because I felt weird. I feel weird. I would also cry because I was like, what am I gonna do with 4 kids? I was already a little bit stressed with 3, and now like find yourself with 4, and then like all these things start coming to mind. I'm like, how am I gonna raise them to be good people? And like, I guess because of the hormones being just so out of place at the time, I was just crying over everything. I still recall this one day that I was crying a lot, and I just went to bed, and my husband was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then the kids start coming and like, "What's wrong with mom? What's wrong with mom?" He's like, "Just give her some time alone."
And you were crying?
Yeah,
in front of him?
I was in bed like trying to cover myself, but I was just like crying. Like I felt very upset at the time. Thank God, like I didn't really fall into like depression where you just don't want to come out of your room or stuff like that, or you just don't want to see anyone. Like I had to fight through it, and like I was fine.
Did you take anything? Like
no, I didn't. No? I didn't. And thank God, like I was better before my after you have baby, you have like a 6-week checkup. By the time I went to my doctor, I was fine. And then like they'll ask you once you go to the doctor, like, okay, how has it been? Have you tried harming yourself or had thoughts about harming yourself or the kids? I'm like, no, I'm okay. You know. And I'll tell them like, yeah, I was crying for a bit, but I'm like fine. And so thank God I didn't have to get anything prescribed. But yeah, you struggle. I feel like people just in general, humans struggle with mental health nowadays. But just being a mother, being so consumed, and then your hormones being out of place, it's worse.
Have you ever dealt with anxiety?
Yes, and that's weird. I didn't believe in it, and I was watching your podcast where your friends were like, as Mexicans or Hispanics, like, no tienes nada, no tienes nada, like it's fine. I didn't believe in anxiety. Like I would hear people having like anxiety attacks, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Like I don't like, what is that? Like really an anxiety attack? But I started having them after my last baby, and it was out of nowhere. Actually, your sister, the youngest who does lashes. Oh yeah. I went to go get my lashes done with her, and I don't know where I felt like but you have to close your eyes and stuff. And I was laying down, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was like, Sandra, wait, let me sit down. And I feel embarrassed because I'm like, what's going on? And I feel embarrassed. Like I said, I don't like wasting people's time or bothering them. And I was like, wait, I can't breathe. And I was telling myself, like, what's going on? Like, how can you not breathe? But at the same time, I was like, también me estaba sintiendo como que I was getting paranoid. I felt like I wasn't going to be able to see again, ever again. And I had gotten my lashes done with her before. Yeah. But I started feeling very like I couldn't breathe. And I was like, okay, this is weird. So we finished. And then I wanted to get my lashes done again. And I got them done. And the same thing happened. Oh, my God, this is anxiety. So I was like, I can't get my lashes done anymore. So I stopped. But then and I was like, okay, hopefully that'll, I'll chill down with that. And then last year, my husband and I went to the cook-off in 2023. And there was, we were good, And then once we were going to like the section where the cook-off is at, it was like a large crowd, and we were like very crowded. We were trying to go into that section. Y no sé por qué estaba extra lleno nada más en esa sección, trying to get in. And I'm short. I'm only 5'1". Yeah. My husband is tall. He's 6'1", well, taller than me. And we were like, getting squished, and I don't know where I felt like I couldn't breathe. And I was
having a panic attack.
A little bit. Yeah. And I was like, and I told him, we need to get out of here. And he's like, stop pushing people. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I need to get out of here. And I didn't want to tell him like, oh, I'm having like a bit of anxiety or something, because he's gonna be like, calmate, or
Does he know?
I've told him yes. Okay. And he'll be like, calm down, stop. Yeah. But I started like, he's like, stop pushing people. And then I started like trying to still, like, I always like, no, but because I feel like if I stayed there, I was gonna start like really going crazy. Like, no quería, I didn't want to get to the point. I've seen people with anxiety attacks that have to call like the ambulance, and I didn't want to get to that point. So I was like, no, we need to get out of here. So I started like kind of moving my way, and he's like, wait, because we had another couple with us. He's like, wait. So I was like, no. Ya por fin salimos de ahí, and I just started like breathing, and I was like, okay, yeah. That was and even think about it, I'm like, but yes, it was just I've had them. And then like now I talked to my doctor about it, and I told her that I was getting them, and then she was like, I was like, why is this happening after my it just happened after my 4th baby? Is it because of having given birth to so many kids, or just because of my hormones are still out of place, or is it age? Okay, what is it? Yeah, she's like, anything could contribute to it. Like, I don't have an answer as to what it is, but all of those things could be factoring to it.
They were probably like adding up.
Yeah,
like building up.
So all she did was give me some pills that I don't know where they're at, because I'm the type of person that if I don't need something, like if my life is not depending on it, I don't want to take it, because I know medicine has side effects to it. Right. So I'm like, what if this, causes me to get like depression, like really bad or something,
Yeah.
So
I think
I'm
that's like a thing that like us Hispanics have. Because like a lot of Hispanics is like, oh, I'm not taking medicine.
oh
Like,
yeah,
then,
yes,
you
or
know,
going to the doctor.
right.
Yeah. So I feel like it is a
Or you're just
Hispanic
afraid of.
thing. Or wanting to like not wanting to know what are the like results. I go, estás mala de esto or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know. It to me it's mainly the side effects though. I feel like no, because I feel like it might fix one thing, but it'll ruin something else. I've known
That's how
you hear
Caesar
that.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
So
like,
no.
no, you don't know the side effects.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
So I didn't even take one. Like I picked them up. I got the pills, but they're somewhere in the house. I'm not. I feel like, and then she told me también, like, if you're having a little attack or something, close your eyes and, picture a square and go around it. I'm like, I don't have time for that either. Like, no, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna try to avoid
I feel like you'll
large
forget
crowds
that.
and
Yeah.
like, being in a situation where I have to close my eyes. I'm just, little things like that. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So it's just
When was the last time you had like an anxiety attack or
the last
that you
time
could remember?
that I
Yeah.
could remember, it was at the cook-off.
I was at the cook-off.
Yeah, but I know I've had another one, but I just can't remember. Like, thank God it's not like a frequent thing with
Yeah.
me. Thank goodness it's not that. But the one that I could really remember was at the cook-off, and this year we didn't go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you ever get him like working out or going to like a new gym and it's like you're freaking out and
Thank God I haven't. Like when I started, maybe it has to do that thank God que me han tocado gyms that are very welcoming.
okay.
They have been great people. Whenever I started this new gym in October, I did feel weird because, like I said, I go to all female gyms, and this one was like male and female. And I felt weird and shy and nervous. But like I said, they were very welcoming. And thank God, though, for that gym. Even though it's male and female, it's mainly females there, though. And they're all very nice. And I got to meet some great ladies there who like will push and like, you got this and stuff like that. So it's been great. Like I'm not taking the classes anymore because it was more like also like boot camp classes, or I don't know what they're called, but it was classes, the one that I started taking in October, all the way to, I believe it was December. And then after that, I'm like, okay, well, they're a little pricey right now, so let me just get the membership by
It
itself.
is expensive.
A little
Do you ever
bit.
think about that? It's like nutritionists and like personal trainers are so expensive.
Yeah,
De por
and it's
sí,
like you want to better yourself, but it's like,
Yes.
I don't have the money for this right now.
yeah,
So,
even
yeah.
groceries itself. It's like,
Oh
oh,
my
you want to go organic, and I feel
Yes.
like that's just America. Like they want people to be obese or something.
No, and I saw about that. I actually saw something like a little video, and it was on Instagram. Like, it was a lady talking about like the U.S. has like so many gyms and like organic foods and snacks. People are still so obese.
Yeah.
And it's true. Like, I don't know, something on the food, because I'm just
You know, like in Europe, cuando fui, like a lot of people are skinny.
no.
They're very like slim, and then you come to America, and it's like majority are.
But and I
overweight.
see people like in Europe. Well, I've never been, but I see like videos from people like in Europe or other places that are like, oh, Americans are so fat, and it's true.
It's true.
It's true. But we also have like a lot of fast food, especially Houston.
Yeah.
Houston is so big, and I've seen or like read that it has like the most fast food places or something.
Yeah.
So it's horrible. And I don't know, like me personally, I know I'm Mexican, but I don't like cook like your typical Mexican.
Like my mom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, like all the grease, I don't, and like I try to use a little bit, and I try to go for like avocado
The grease.
oil.
No, that reminded me of Jackie. I didn't mean to cut you up, but did you? I don't know.
Pelón,
if
que dicen que
episode-
hueles.
Oh no.
Oh, what?
Que se
No.
na- Bueno, sí
Oh,
hueles.
Jackie, yes,
Que usa
todo el
la botella.
galón. She's like, todo el galón de Jovi.
Yes.
Yes, and Pelón always like, he's like, oh my God, every time we go to my mom's, I smell like oil when we come out.
Yes.
And I'm like, you're still eating though, like stop complaining. But yeah, he'll complain about
So
that.
you don't cook like that.
I don't. I
Yeah.
try to use like the healthier fats and a little bit, only like when I make flautas, which is it's rare. I'll use like oil like a lot, and we don't eat a lot of tortillas at home. But I'm still big. Like
You're not big though.
well, for being 5'1", and the thing is, okay, people are like, you're not big, because I weigh like one right now. What I weighed myself like last week, I was like 135. But it's like 135 with nothing but fat. It's not muscle.
Oh my God.
And like I did go down. Like I said, I was working out. Like last year I was a size 5 in jeans. Right now I'm a 5 or a 7. And people could be like, okay, that's not bad. But I'm like, I'm only 5'1".
Does that like annoy you when they're like, you're not fat, Genesis?
Yes, it annoys me because
like,
you don't know me crying in the
right.
mirror that I don't like this, I don't like that. And my husband, like, my husband will be like, okay, gordita, or something, like, which is rare. And I know he says it playing around. Well, I hope so. But I'll be like, you're fat too. And then he'll always tell me, like, well, if I wanted to, I could lose this in a month. And he lost it in a month.
Yeah.
He's doing like, he does like boxing and kickboxing. And he lost it in a damn month. And I hate him for that.
I think that's just like very common for guys, no?
Yeah.
Like their metabolism is like way faster than
it is. I don't want to put him out there, but his metabolism is very fast. And I'm
like,
just constipated all the time.
You know what Caesar says? It's like, he also tells me, he's like, man, you lose weight like really fast. If you want to tone up, you could do it, because he's like, genes. He's like, your family comes like, you know, it's like very easy for you to like lose weight. But I'm like, I don't know.
But I mean, well, this is my thing. I know all of y'all have been skinny because I've known y'all for like a good while. And I remember meeting Pelon. I met Pelon when he was 12. I was 14. He was very skinny.
You met him when he was 12?
Yeah. He was 12 and I was 14, and he was where he was not supposed to be at.
Was he pretending to be older or what?
No, I knew.
Hold on.
He was in middle school. I was in high school.
So how did you meet him?
He was at a quinceañera, and he was not supposed to be there.
Why?
Because your mom was out of town, and he had stayed with I don't know, one of your like
Tios or something.
Y que him and your older brother were begging him que los llevara, y los llevó, and que your uncle was like, I'm gonna get in trouble, you're not supposed to be here, blah blah blah. Yeah. So I met him there.
Oh wow.
But he was 12, I was 14. But I was also very skinny. I had, like I said, I was always very skinny till I turned 21, but that was because I started drinking. So jeans, I don't know. My mom's also thin.
Yeah.
So
maybe it just changes. No, your body
I feel
changes
like
after
it's with age also.
Okay.
And then I feel like it's just harder for a woman. Like if you compare a woman to a man, it's a lot harder. I don't know. And because me and Juan eat the same thing. I'm the one cooking.
Yeah.
We eat the same thing. And actually, he eats, he doesn't like me get like leche lonche because he's like, no quiero calentarlo. So he'll eat fast food a lot more than I will. And he lost the damn weight.
But then again, it's like they're not the ones giving birth to.
I know.
All
That's
the
what
kids.
I told
So
him.
maybe
Whenever he'll tell me like that I'm fat or something, I'm like, well, I gave birth to kids back to back 4 times.
Does your body really changes? If you don't mind me asking.
Yes. Because
I think that's what I'm afraid of. Like, it's
No,
I want to start having a family soon, but then I'm like, oh my God. I know, like, everyone tells me your body's going to change. It's not always going to be the same. But then I see, not models, but like
I see a lot of
influencers.
moms. I follow a lot of moms and a lot of influencers. Like, I follow a lot of like fitness moms. So like they'll work out and they'll like bounce back. But I also follow a lot of regular moms. And they look good.
Right.
They look really good. Like I follow this one mom, for instance, and I know she has 2 kids, and she'll post pictures of her body all the time.
Yeah.
Y parece que nunca tuvo ni un niño.
Yeah.
Even Quinn. I see Quinn and I'm like, what child did you give birth to? Like, she looks so good. Like you would never think she's a mom because she looks so good. But for me, I don't know if it was, I can't say it was the 4 kids, because after I had Jimena, I was already like, my body was
changed.
My skin is also very bad. Like I got a lot of stretch marks.
I was going to ask you, yeah.
I got a lot of stretch marks. I don't know if it has to do with being a little lighter. I feel like when you tend to be a little lighter, also like your skin's just worse. I mean, because I see like when you see the pictures of like darker women, like they age well, and then the whiter ladies and they look like crap. My skin's just bad. Like I got a lot of stretch marks, and then when, like I said, I did lose weight from after I gave birth to my 4th baby, and I started working out. I did lose weight, but then I have like a lot of loose skin, a lot, and I'll have friends tell me like. Well, not friend. Like I said, I only have like one friend, but I have people tell me like, you could work it out, but the skin's always gonna be loose. You would have to get a tummy tuck for that, because the skin is not ever gonna like, get back to
yeah. And maybe like the stretch marks happen because you were really small, and then your skin stretched out.
It's just not so bad. Like I was huge. If you could remember with Jimena, I was humongous.
Yeah, but era like más like swollen. Like it wasn't like big.
My feet
fat,
were like,
but it was like big,
I was
like,
swollen.
Yeah,
like
swollen.
My feet look like little miniature pigs. Like they were just huge. They were huge.
Yeah.
No me quedaban los zapatos. And then my foot grew for a while because before I gave birth,
I've heard of that.
yes, it did.
El pie, yes.
Yes. Before I got pregnant, I was 6.5 in women's, and then after I gave birth, like after I gave birth to Jimena, and once like the swelling went down and stuff, I was a 7.5. It was that big, but right now I'm back to a size 7. Well, a 7. I didn't even go back to 6.5. It depends on the shoe. Sometimes I can fit into 6.5, but I'm more of a 7. But from a 6.5 to a 7, that is huge. And then I'm only 5'1". I feel like my features look huge.
Yeah,
it was just too big. But and like I said, it's not just the swelling. Like the foot itself, it just got bigger. It's weird.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider cosmetic surgery? Like I know you say tummy tuck, but would you do everything or?
I beg my husband for it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I just please get it? Yeah. Like I found the surgeon. I just don't have the money. But I found like the perfect surgeon and I want everything. Like he'll tell me like lose weight and I'll pay for like your boobs. I'm like, no, I want everything.
Yeah.
I want a whole mommy makeover. I want boobs. But I don't want implants. Like I said, I'm short. So I feel like if I get boobs, I'm just going to look wider. Like I want fat transfer. Yes. Yes, I'm going to look like, I already look like this. No. I don't want to like look more so like, so I want like fat transfer. I want lipo 360. I want a BBL and I want a tummy tuck.
You're not scared?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like so for it, but now I'm like, oh, Mensa, you have anxiety. Like, how are you gonna? But I feel like I'm just getting older, and I want to like look good my few years of being youngish,
right?
Because I mean, I'm already 34, but I want
which you don't show it. I don't even think 34 is old. Honestly, I'm 30, almost 31, so we're not that far apart.
I don't know if it's the fact that Juan is younger than me 2 years, and he'll tell people like. Oh, she's 36. I'm like, excuse me, I'm 34. He was telling me when I was 33, he told his barber I was 36. I'm like, excuse you, I'm 34. Right. Like, why are you? A year is a huge difference. Right. Like, not even a year. He added 3 years. 3. Because I was 33. He said I was 36. Oh. Like, and he's like, well, I'm young. I'm like, well, that's sad because you look just as old as I do.
And he likes showing that off, right? He's like, oh, I'm young. Like, she's older.
Yeah, he always said, like, she's old. Mi viejita. Like, whatever. I'm just mature. He's a little bit cuckoo in the head. But no, yeah, I feel like it's that though. Like, I feel old maybe because he's younger or because I'm like a mom and it also wears you out and I just feel tired all the time. And I feel like I'm just like, damn, soy bien vieja. My knees hurt. Like, I've been working out and it's true. Like, you see those videos of your knees popping.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
shit,
you.
wait. Yes. I'm like, wait a bit. Like, calm down. Can't do that now. So yeah, my knees hurt, my back hurts. I went to the gym yesterday and today I woke up and I'm like, my back. Like I have back problems ever since I got pregnant with Jimena. I don't know if it's because of the weight. Like I wasn't used to that weight. And like I said, I didn't get an epidural because I'm scared of needles. That's the reason why I wasn't trying to be brave. But
girl, how are you trying to get a BBL and like a lipo?
And that's what Juan tells me. Juan tells me that, but I'm like, no, I'll suck it as long as I look good. Like I'll keep it in my head, like. Bitch,
like it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth
it. It's gonna be worth it. Like in a month or so, you're gonna be out there too. Like chill out. I'll tell myself that. As long as I look good, I don't care. And I tell me like, giving birth is so painful. Like I thought I was gonna die with my first one. Like I was praying. I'm like, oh God, please spare me because this child's gonna need me or something. I really thought I was gonna die because it was very, very, very painful. All of the girls have hurt. Yeah. My son hurt, but not as bad as the girls. Es el que menos me dolió. And even Sared, I gave birth to her pretty quickly. I was actually gonna have her in the toilet. At the hospital.
Oh my God.
Yeah, with her my water broke on its own.
I heard that it feels like whenever you're getting ready to give birth, it feels like you have to use the restroom. Is that true? Or is that just like
I guess the pressure. But okay, so I was told in the hospital, like, okay, if you have to pee, they told me, like, if you have to pee, it's fine. Like, just have my husband was there throughout every single birth. So they'll tell him, like, disconnect her here, disconnect her there, and, like, let her go pee. So, yeah, I feel pressure. But then again, like, throughout the pregnancy, you just have to pee, like, throughout the night. Cuando estaba embarazada, I'll wake up, like, 5 times at least just to pee. Y nada más es un chorrito, ni es mucho, but it's the pressure there. And then at the hospital, I felt like I had to pee constantly, so I would go pee. But they told me, if you feel like you have to poop,
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
not
was
poop.
gonna. Okay.
It's the baby. So I was like, okay. So with my first, I just felt like I had to pee, pero no se me reventó la fuente. El doctor me la tuvo que
Oh,
reventar. So,
that's more painful, no?
after it was, I didn't really feel him. I just heard the pop. But after that, because they would tell me, like, you're having contractions right now, because they're monitoring you. They're like, and I'm like, oh. And when he told me you're having contractions, I was like, oh my God, this is what all the fuss is about. Like, because I would see moms like, oh, it's really bad. Oh, this is nothing. He popped my, la fuente, me la reventó. And after that, the contractions were horrible. And I was feeling those contractions with my oldest for 3 hours.
Oh my God.
And they would tell me, like, well, I forgot, I don't know if, I think Juan had told me, like, well, get an epidural, like, and I'm like, no, because I saw my sister give birth to her oldest, and she didn't get one, and I was like, okay, if she could do it, and if it wasn't that bad, like, I have to be able to do it. So I didn't get it, and like I said, I'm scared of needles. I'm like terrified. For me, like, just getting the IV when you go to the hospital is like, me da cosa, like, I don't like it. And so I was okay, I'm not gonna get it, and I thought I was gonna die. Thank God I was fine. And then with my son, like I said, they told me, like, if you have to poop, it's not that, it's the baby. And this is another TMI. Like I said, I had to get up to pee, and I already knew that from my oldest, like, I could pee. So I went to the restroom and I peed, but then I had to defecate. So I did, and then I cleaned myself, went back to bed, and then the nurse came in and she's like, oh, how are you doing? And I was really good with him. Like I said, he's the only one that I was not induced. I went into labor on my own. So I was like, oh, it was good. I just went and I pooped. Yeah. And she's like, what? Don't get out of the bed no more. And she started calling the nurses. And then I was like, what the hell's going on? And she's like, that means the baby's gonna. Myself. Yes, exactly. She's like, the baby's gonna come soon. And after that, he did come in like within 40 minutes. Okay. But I didn't feel like the contractions. Well, the doctor did come in, like, otra vez me reventó la fuente con él. And the contractions were pretty bad. But it was only like, I want to say it was like, I don't me acuerdo, but I think it was like 30 minutes of like really bad contractions, whereas 3 hours with my oldest. And then with my third baby, I was in the hospital, and she was, cuando me checaban, they were like, she's too small, she's not growing. So the doctor was like, we're gonna have to induce you, because sometimes they're not getting the nutrients they need inside, so we don't want to have her just stay small. I'm gonna induce you, and we're gonna have her come. She came in like 10 days before her due date. I was like, okay. But she was still very high up. So the nurse there gave me like a yoga ball. And she was like, oh, just bounce on it. And I was just chilling, bouncing on it. She's like, that'll help the baby come down. And then it was like already COVID was kind of going on, because she was born in November of 2019. So I was just bouncing on it. And then my mom would call me, because she stayed home with my kids. But my dad was there too. And also one of your sisters was at home. I can't remember which one. But she was like, oh, ya puedo ir, because she had seen the first two be born. And I'm like, the nurse said, is it going to be another 6 hours? And she's like, okay. So I was like, yo te hablo ya once, it's whatever. So I was just bouncing and I kept going to go pee and stuff. And then out of nowhere, and then I started feeling the contractions, but not like bad. And when I went to go pee, and I was peeing, and I just heard, bah! And
was that the baby? Or
no, it was la fuente. La fuente. But I didn't know, because te digo, with the first two, el doctor me la reventó. Okay. So I just heard a pop, and I got scared. And it was so loud that I had the door closed peeing, and Juan was asleep, and Juan doesn't hear shit. And he was like, what was that? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, are you okay? And I said, yes. But so I started feeling the contractions back to back to back, like back to back. And then I was like, no, I'm not fine. I'm like, call the nurse. And he was like, are you okay? I'm like, no, call the nurse. So the nurse came in, and she's like, you have to get up. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have this baby now. And she's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yes. And then I was like, I can get up. So she called another nurse, and then they were getting me up. I'm like, I cannot. I'm like, the baby's right there. She's like, no, it's not. Así se siente. And I'm like, no, the baby's right there. So she touched, and she's like, oh no, the baby's right there. And like, they walk with her hand right there. I was barely able to make it to the bed, and I pushed like twice, and she came out.
Wow.
So that was that. And then with Arleta, I actually took 38 minutes to give birth to her, because she was too high up still, but I feel like it was time. Like, my OBGYN was like, are you ready? And I said, no. But then I felt like the pressure, and I'm like, no, yes. Because I felt like I had to poop.
Oh,
So
I
I
think
feel
I
like
would be
that's what
so
it
like
was
afraid of that.
of pooping.
Yeah, because what if you poop and the baby comes out with
Exactly.
poop?
No,
Like,
well, I kept
like,
telling him, I was like, I don't want to poop. And he's like, it's normal.
it's
But
like a poop
thank God
baby.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, he said I didn't. No, no, but he's like, no, no. And then I have a male OBGYN.
Oh.
So that's what's so uncomfortable. But no, I didn't. It's just, it was the pressure from the baby.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I pushed, con ella me tardé más en lo que es empujar. It was 38 minutes. And then I got scared because they even brought like an oxygen thingy. And I had never had that with the other babies. And they also told me, like, before I gave birth, they told me, because of your age, I was 32 at the time, that because of your age and because you have had already 3 kids, the more babies you have, the riskier it is, she said. Which I thought it would, like, oh, be easier because, like, I already gave birth to 4 kids. But she's like, no, it's riskier and you're also older. So I got scared because I remember that while I was pushing, I was like, oh my God. And I kept telling him, I don't want a C-section. And he's like, no, but he already knows I don't want a C-section or an epidural. He knows that. Like I said, it was the same OBGYN. He's like, no, don't worry about that. Just, push. And thank God she came out. Y está bien.
Yeah.
But it was painful. The girls were very painful compared to my son.
Did you notice, like, when you were pregnant with the girls, because, I think there's like a myth, no? I don't know if it's a Hispanic thing, but if it's a girl, you get wider, or
Your mom
is it
told me
wider
about
or
that.
pointy?
I think your mom's are wider.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. I was just wide. I feel like I was just wide. So I don't know. In my house, we do the cadenita.
Oh,
That's what we do.
okay.
And that's when I was like, oh, it's a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
But
did you try that?
Yeah.
Hiciera, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, with me, yeah. And I actually tried it on una conocida. I don't want to say friend because I feel like a friend is someone you talk to and like you see every day.
Yeah.
So it's like una conocida. She's pregnant, and it was like last month when like we saw her, and it was like a group of girls, and we did it, and it came. She was gonna have her gender reveal that next weekend, so we did it, and it was a boy. And when she did her gender, I wasn't able to go because I had something to do, but it was a boy. So I believe in that.
But you have to try it when you're pregnant, no? Because I think there's another one where it's like it's going to tell you how many kids you have.
Yes, it's supposed to tell you how many kids. But a mí siempre me salía 2, and I had 4. So then I guess that was not true. Yeah, I don't know where the rest of them came from. But I've tried it like on the belly when you're pregnant, and it came out to be what it was. That's weird. I don't know, some little witchcraft, Mexican way.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. It's like something you do. But no, about the whiteness and stuff, I also heard people say que en la cara se te ve que vas a tener.
Oh.
I don't know about that either.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one.
I don't know. Que si estás también like ancha, o que estás más delgada o más bonita.
Que si tu nariz, no? I think I've heard of that. Like if your nose gets fatter or something like that.
I just feel like when you're pregnant, your nose just gets wide. I feel like it happened to me.
Girl.
I feel like my nose was just big. O será lo hinchado que estaba.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe that.
Yeah, it was just crazy.
Have you ever had a scared like with the kids? And that goes like any type of scare. It could be like maybe you're at the store and you lose them for a minute, or someone's following you, or maybe they're choking on food, or
oh shoot, actually yes, several. This past weekend we went out on Sunday. We took the kids with your sister Jenny and the kids. We went out with my husband and stuff. We went out to see like Jurassic World the exhibition, and then we took them to go jump. And I have 4 kids, and then Jenny has 2, and they were like all wanting to run around because we went to the trampoline park thingy. And I had left Arlette where like there's like some big old cubes, like you just jump in there. I had left her there, and I turned around because one of my other kids was behind me like jumping, and Juan was there. I'm sorry. And when I turned around, I didn't see Arlette anymore. And I'm like, Juan, where's Arlette? And it's like, I don't know how deep it is, but I know you can't really go deep. But I didn't see her. And I'm like, and then there was like other kids coming in. And I'm like, what if she like sunk? Or like, what if somebody took her? And I told Juan, oh my God, where is she? And I'm like, and I told him, I'm like, Juan, I'm about to start crying. I remember saying that. This girl was behind me jumping. So that was one. Also when, Eid was he was a baby. He was like 1. He was like chewing on ice, and that was my fault. And he started kind of choking, and Juan was like, he helped him. That was another. And then whenever Jimena was sick when she was like 9 months old, I want to say she was like 9 months old. It was like a stomach bug, pero se me estaba vomitando. And she like I said, she was my first. And then I had just found out I was pregnant with Yair.
Yeah.
So I was like very emotional también at the time. And she had gotten sick, and she just kept throwing up and also having like diarrhea. and I didn't know what was going on. I took her to the ER, and they're like, oh, she's dehydrated, and la vamos a tener que internar. So, like, it's having your first child and seeing her, like, go to the hospital. And it was just, like, a stomach bug, but you feel bad, like, so that was scary, because I'm like, oh my God, que si se pone peor, que si no se compone, and
Y
stuff
luego
like
they
that.
can't tell you what's wrong with them. Like,
At,
it's like
that,
when
at
they're
that
babies,
moment,
like,
they didn't tell me what was wrong, and they're like, oh, you have to, like, what is it? Tienes que ponerte, like, bata and stuff like that. Like, pero estaba internada. Like, she was fine. Like, she was in a room, but it was just too much. You know, you get scared because you don't want to see your baby and, like, be hurt or in the hospital. And then the last scare that I could remember was when Sarah was in the hospital this past May. She was actually bleeding. And I didn't know, because it came out of, like, her poop.
Right.
At the end of the day, they were not able to tell me really what it was. She also had strep. I didn't know she had strep. Like, she was sick. Yo pensé que era una fiebre, and then I don't know where she had that going on. And they were telling me, like, I got scared because they were telling me, first of all, I took her to the regular doctor. And the damn she didn't see her actual doctor. Her doctor wasn't there that day, so she saw another doctor at the office. And the lady was like, well, she did eat anything red, anything? I'm like, no. She's like, well, I don't know what it is. You could go home. If it happens, I can take her to the ER. I was so mad. I called Juan, and I'm like, this damn is telling me to just go home. I'm like, no, I'm gonna take her to the ER now. And I guess she heard me, because she's like right behind the door. But I didn't care. Like, it's your child.
Right.
And then she came back with like a paper. She's like, well, it could be one of these things. I don't know what it is. Just take her to the ER. They're gonna do their own analysis. I'm like, okay. So I took her to the ER. It was just, and I was just me by myself, because Juan actually had to go to work. He thought he was gonna go back home. I mean, he thought I was gonna go back home, and like, so I took her to the ER. No, he was home with Arlen. I'm lying. He was home with Arlen. And then I took her to the ER. And then usually at the ER, they'll like take their time. They'll check on, and then they check on like your fever and all that. Right. I mean, your temperature and stuff. And they'll send you back to the lobby.
Okay.
So you get a room. So they were checking her, and then I showed them a picture of what had happened, like in her diaper. Right away, they're like, get your stuff, let's give you a room. So I started panicking. I'm like, this is something serious if they're gonna give me a room right away. And then like a whole bunch of, right away, like they put her in the room. Y estaba like como quiera, like she looked very weak. They started like putting IVs in her hand, and then she's crying. Sared is very scared. She's a COVID baby, so she's scared of everyone. She's even scared to go to your house sometimes. So she's scared of everyone. She's like, mami, te sientes like sin poder ayudarla. And like she has to get it done, because if not, you know, that's like, you know, she needs it. She was se miraba ya deshidratada. And they were like, she lost a lot of blood and this and that. And then they started telling me like she's gonna need a blood transfusion. And then they're telling me, well, we think she's bleeding internally. She may need surgery. All of that. Oh my God, I started crying. And I didn't want to cry because I feel like I have to be strong for her, para que ella no llore. But I didn't have Juan there. And then I was like, I just started going crazy, and I started calling him. I'm like, they're telling me this and that. She's gonna need a blood transfusion. She ended up getting. And then I didn't want, like, they tell you, like, because you have to sign paperwork. And it says, like, yes, they check the blood, but there might be a risk.
There's always that 1%.
Yeah, that it might be infected. And I'm like, I don't want to be the one to sign. And, like, what if it did have that risk of it having HIV or something? And I'm putting that into my baby. But then if I don't give it to her, they're also saying, like, she needs it. So I'm like, it was just too much. Think I shouldn't need surgery or anything, but at the end of the day, they were not able to really tell me what was going on. But ya no lo vuelvo a pasar. So they told me it was like something going on because of the strep. She had some sort of blood deficiency because of that, and so it was that. But that time I was very scared. I was like just crying, and like I said, ella's bien miedosa y tímida, and like you don't know how to help her, how to make her feel better. Like la quieres consolar y no puedes también. So it was a lot.
That is scary. Have you ever been like followed, like in the store with the kids? Because I see a lot of videos like that. I'm like, that is,
First of all, my mom tends to go with me a lot to the store. She's always told me like, no vayas sola. Y no me gusta, like I said, no me gusta molestar mucho. Sí la molesto, pero no me gusta molestar mucho. But whenever I do go to the store, I'm like, can you just go with me? Because it is for kids. And she'll always tell me like, no puedes ir con todos cuatro porque si te jalan a uno, no puedes correr y dejar los otros tres ahí. Like you cannot, and you have to also watch them. So she's like, I'll go with you. So there's been times that we're at the store and she's like, watch out for so and so. Like, why is this man in the kids section? But then I also can't be like, you know, what if he has? I know Juan has gone to the store and bought like the kids stuff on his own, like without having kids there. So I can't. But I do keep my eye on that.
Like high
but
alert.
to say that I've felt like being followed, and like been followed to my car and stuff. Thank God, no. But I do keep like I am very alerted when I go out, and even if it's by myself, because sometimes I do have to go out by myself.
Yeah.
I'll like keep them close to me, like no, quédate aquí, and or as much as Jimena hates being in the basket, I'm like,
Yeah.
you have to get in it. I need you to get in it, mami. Si te roban, después qué voy a hacer? So I try to keep them together, and like I'm also a very paranoid parent. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm like that, but I feel like my mom was like that, and I get that from her. Like my kids are first, and yeah, I have to keep an eye on them. So
I mean, you said that reminds me because I know you mentioned on the last episode that we recorded how your mom used to work, right? And she even got a job like at your
Yeah.
school so that she could keep an eye
yeah.
on you.
Well,
and
she
your
was a
sister.
stay-at-home mom when we were like
Oh,
little.
so she was a stay-at-home mom?
We were little from from when I was born to like I think she started working when I was like in I want to say first grade or kindergarten. Probably first grade. But so she said she wanted to work, and she's like, but I cannot leave my daughters alone. So she ended up getting a job at the school in la cafeteria,
Yeah.
to keep an eye on us. So and then she would like we would go actually to work because she had to go in at 6:30, I think. So we would go with her, just be there like in la cafeteria dormidas un ratito, and then to go to class. And then she would get out at 2:30. We got out like at 3 or so. So she'll be like by the time we were done, she was done too. So then she was a stay-at-home mom, not a stay-at-home mom, but she was a mom then.
Yeah.
You know, she did her job at work, and then she still had to get home and cook and clean and stuff for us and help us with homework.
Yeah.
Like I told you last time, you know, she still speaks a little bit of English, but it's just Spanish. She was very dedicated. She's like, okay, necesitan ayuda. She would get like an English and Spanish dictionary, and she would translate word for word
Really?
to like translate it all in Spanish so she could understand,
Yeah.
and then like help us out. She was very helpful with all of that. She was like, I only have one sister,
Yeah.
so she would play with both of us. She was there for us. She had, even now, she knows like if I need her, I'll call her and she'll be there. Even also with my sisters.
Yeah. I've seen her like in parties and stuff,
Yeah.
and she never like. Well, nunca se ve que hace menos a nadie.
No.
She's always with everyone, giving them like the same
Yeah.
attention and
Because
helping
all
them.
the kids, like, well, at least like my kids and my sister kids, they're all like, "Wela, wela, wela, wela."
Yeah.
And I feel like she loves everybody equally. También les llama la atención a everybody equally. She loves doing piñatas.
Yeah.
And ella nos dice, no, a mis niños, like she still works, and she's also tired. She's a little sick right now, so. But she says whenever it's their birthday coming up, she's like, yo les voy a hacer la piñata porque el día que yo no esté aquí.
No. Don't. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Sorry. She's like, yo les hice la.
Let me get you some tissue.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. No, but yeah, she's like, yo les hice la piñata, so it doesn't matter how tired she is and stuff. Like, she'll do that for them. And whenever she sees all of them, she'll play with them because they all want to play with her, like hide and seek and all this and that. So yeah, también, pero los regaña también a todos igual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like everyone's fears, like losing a parent. And
Yeah, I do. Like I said, she's sick. Like, well, she has cancer, but she's fine though. Like, she always tells us like, yo me siento bien. She's like, I only have it because the doctors tell me I have it. I remember the day I found out. We were actually at your house when I found out, and like I went outside. So I didn't. They had went to Mexico to like, cause allá está como que era más barato para que se cheque. And my sister told me. She's the one that told me like, hey, they think she has cancer, and but she's gonna like double check. And then my sister, like, we already knew the day she was gonna get checked. I didn't want to call though because I didn't want to know. Like, obviously you want to know, but like you don't
want to
hear
it,
that.
like,
yeah.
okay.
So my sister called me and she was like, they said yes. So you just start thinking like all these bad things because, you know, every time you hear the word cancer, it's just a negative thing. So I started crying. Juan had just gotten home from work and he was showering, and I just started crying and I didn't know what to do. so I told him, and he stood quiet for a while. And then I was mad because I'm like, damn, he's like ignoring my feelings. But he says that he already knew because my dad had told him. My dad had called him. Y que le dijo, like, you know, si tiene, pero quiero hablar con todos. Y que él les dijo, oh, because you had something going on. Like, I think it was like going to be a game or something, or a fight that day. And he told my dad, okay, pero podemos hacerlo después de que vayamos a la casa de mi hermana porque no quiero que esté triste allá or something. So he was like, I already knew. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So see, like we came, and I was trying not to think about it. Obviously, that's all you could think about at the time. And I hadn't called my mom yet. Like I said, she was in Mexico. I hadn't called her because I feel like it was a conversation I wanted to avoid. And then I went outside to talk to her, and I was crying and crying. And she told me, let it all out. She's like, yo de esto no me voy a morir. She's like, I'm fine. I'm positive. Like, yo estoy, not positive, yo estoy, well, she was being positive about it. She's like, I have faith in God that I'm going to be okay. And I feel, she's like, if I'm negative, that's when I'm going to, you know, go down. She's like, no quiero que ustedes lloren. Lloren lo que tienen que llorar ahorita, pero yo voy a estar bien. And it's just hard to, like, see one of your parents be sick or know that they're sick. But no, girl, now I'm like okay with it because she's good. Like she's still working. Nunca quiso, le decíamos like para trabajar. She's like, I want to work. And I feel también que si ella se quedaba en la casa, a lo mejor es cuando se va like a estar aburrida o deprimir or something. So I guess she needs it, you know. She's used to it, and she has a friend at work también. So she talks to her, and I feel like you need it. But she always told me, de esto no voy a morir. And like now I try not to think about that, you know. It's just, it's hard because, you know, okay, that, pero tenga si se le bajó, like, you know, the tumor se bajó, it diminished, and she's doing great. Like, so, I mean, you never know. I could die before her in a car crash, stuff like that. So I try not to think about that. But yeah, it's hard thinking like you see your parents getting older. And it's like,
it's scary.
Yeah.
No,
I remember when your dad was on the hospital, Juan was so upset, and it's like, because they didn't know what he had. Yeah. I was trying to be positive. And honestly, I'm the type of person, I don't want people, Juan's like, you're so negative. I don't think I'm a negative person. I think I'm a realistic person. So I feel like it was hard for me to tell them, like, you know, be positive. And I would tell them, like, we're not religious. We don't go to church. And I told them, like, I actually told them, like, hey, we should start going to church, but I don't want to go to a Catholic church. I feel like a Catholic church is very judgy. Like, when you hear them, like, give their sermons, they're very, like, judgy. And then, like, I'll watch, for instance, just, like, Joel Osteen on TV or whatever. And there's, like, I feel like it's uplifting what they say. Maybe he's full of crap. Maybe he's full of money. I don't know. That's not for me to say. But I feel like it's uplifting. So I feel like it's something we do need. But I do pray a lot. I do pray every night. I pray over my kids. I pray. When I need something, I pray. When I'm thankful for something, I pray. Like I told Juan, like, just, you know, give thanks. Like, it's nothing. And I'll tell him, just pray, you know, pray that your dad's going to be fine. Like, and, you know, thank God tu papá salió de eso. And, like, you see him now también. Yeah. He's good.
He's good. But it is scary. Yeah. You know, because it's like, I feel like you said, I'm guessing it's like seeing your parents, and I could only imagine, you know, seeing your kids sick. Yeah. And then it's like one, you know, whenever the kids are small, like children, they really can't tell you what's wrong with them. They're just crying. Yes. And then as an adult, I feel like your parents are always trying to be strong.
Yes.
So they don't tell you the truth, you know? It's like my dad. I feel like if my dad would have waited longer, something could have happened.
It would have gotten worse.
Yes, you know? So it's like he goes to the hospital, and then you start thinking the worst. It's like,
que lo internaron. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
So that's when you're like, oh, it's serious.
Yeah. And then you see everyone, like, you know, having, like, issues. I think that was, like, during, like, post-COVID or during COVID.
It was still COVID.
It was still COVID, right? And, like, a lot of people were passing away from that. So it was really scary. Yeah. But I hope your mom gets better. I know she will. You. And if she has faith and she's positive, then I feel like that's the only thing you and your sister could do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think right now she's good. She's like, I always like, oh, she's good. It's sad to think about stuff like that. Of course. Yeah.
I mean, it's sad overall when you sit and you're thinking about, like, your parents. Like, I feel like that's something that, like, sometimes me and, like, Chuito and, like, my siblings, like, we talk, and my sisters, we start thinking, you know, it's like, damn, like, it's like, you know, it's like you're saying, it's like being realistic. You know, it's going to happen one day. It could be from like sickness or just natural or whatever it is, you know, or like you said, we might go before them, but you know, the day will come and it's like, I don't know how. I don't think anyone's ever prepared for that.
Never.
You know?
I feel like you're never ready for a death or to become a parent or anything.
Right.
But the way I think about it is like, I feel like I'm older now. I'm 34, but my kids are young, and like I said, they love my mom, and it's like les va a hacer falta. And then I was in 11th grade when my grandmother, my mom's mom, passed away, and I remember like I was sad for like a good while. I even think about it now, like I get sad sometimes I think about it, and then I remember my mom the way she was, and she was older too, and like yo se le falta que le hizo. Then when my grandpa passed away when I was dating Pelon already. He passed away how many years ago? Like I want to say like 8 years ago. My dad was, you know, devastated too, and so was I. Like, you know, so it's like, and your grandparent, yeah, you love your grandparents, but like for at least in my experience, like my grandma, when she passed away, she was in Mexico. I was here. It's not like you see her every day or talk to her every day. Como quiera me sentí triste. And then my grandpa, he was living here. And I feel like, like, a little bit before que cayó, no, porque él estuvo internado un rato. Yo fui la que estuvo llevando al doctor. So I feel like we got to bond a little bit more. And then it was just, you know, worse, but like more hurtful. But but it's just hard, you know, seeing just a family. Or even you see Instagram and you see like something sad and you're crying. Yeah. So, or that's me. I cry a lot.
No, I cry a lot too.
I'm a crybaby.
Do you think there's like a heaven?
I do. I do, but I hope, like, I do. I feel like there is, or at least I'm hoping there is. Yeah. In my head, I think my grandparents are up there. I hope that, like, you know, one day, like how sometimes when you see like, allá no hay problemas, no hay tristezas, no hay nothing. Sí. And I hope that one day when we're not here,
you get to reunite with everyone. Yeah. Do you believe in like the red cardinals? Like when you see one, that there's like it's someone close to you. And
you know,
like
I never. I actually started reading about that like a few years ago. I didn't know about that. And I have seen, even like this past year, that's when I saw like a few, because you usually see like the blue, what are they called? The blue birdies. Yeah. I don't know about birds names, but I usually see the blue ones outside my house, or like just the regular.
But aren't those like cardinals? También, nomás que son different colors.
No, I don't know, but like a red one. Last year I saw like a few times I saw one outside my house. So I didn't know about that, but it would be nice to think that that's what it is, like a family, a close person, a loved one coming to see you. I would like to think about like que sí es eso. También he visto, like, let's say my grandparents, los he visto en mis sueños, and I'm like, oh, siento que me visitaron.
Do they ever talk to you, like, or
in my dreams? Yeah, but usually when I've dreamed about them, at that, like, during that moment, whatever it is that we're doing, like, they're still alive, but then right before I wake up, I remember they're dead.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, yeah,
so, I don't know. It's weird, but I'm happy because I'm like, oh, I got to see them again. Yeah.
You think things would have been different if your grandparents would have been like still here? Like,
as far as my grandma, like, we just went to Mexico last week, and we went over, like, my grandpa, he's about to be 95, and he's living on his own at the house. He don't want to go with nobody. He's good though también. Like, I feel like, and that's what makes me feel good about my mom, because I feel like she's like him. Like, they're strong, and they're like, I could do this. Like, I
think that's where you got it from too.
I hope so.
Yeah.
At least the stubbornness, I probably did. And like, he's good. Like, he cleans by himself. He's, you know, he does everything on his own. He cooks on his own and stuff. Porque él nunca se quiso ir con nadie. But we went over to my grandparents' house, and my kids were running around. And then Arlette is like, she's my bad baby, and she didn't care. Like, the rest of the kids were kind of scared because it's an older Mexican home, and then they're just shy, you know. Arlette went into a room. She grabbed the blanket that was on the bed, and she rolled, like, se la puso around her, and se acostó en el piso, and she's just there. And then my mom's like, mire, papi, mire esta huerca cabrona. And my grandpa's just there laughing at her. I'm like, oh my God, if my grandma would have been here, she would have been cracking up and stuff. Like, my mom says that she was, like, pretty tough on them, but with us, she was very loving. Like, she would kind of spoil us. So, like with love and I mean, like the smallest thing, like on the corner of her house hay un Oxxo. Yeah. And like estábamos de chifladas que queríamos algo and she's like, yo les llevo. My mom would be like, ya no tengo dinero, and she'll like, yo les llevo. So little things like that. And I'm like, it would have been nice, you know. I feel like she would have done the same for them or something.
For them, yeah. Pero por algo pasan las cosas, right? Last question, like in there, well, not really a question, but you know, since we're in the topic, if like, you could come back in like a different, like an animal maybe, or what animal would you be if you could choose, right?
I don't know. I know I have 5 dogs, but I'm not an animal person. I feel, honestly, I'm probably a bird, so I could fly around.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Maybe a bird.
Because you're free, no?
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
That's like,
yeah.
Well, I would hope I'm not one of the ones que tienen la pulga. I would hope that. But like flying around, maybe that would be nice. Not a dog though. They're gonna still have you at home and like.
I know, it's sad sometimes when you see the doggies and they're like
My dogs, they're annoying, and I feel like they're annoyed with my kids. My kids see them like, like, leave them alone. Let them boys run. But no, maybe a bird.
Maybe a bird, huh? I think a bird too. I just feel like they're free, hopefully.
Or a snake.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
So you believe like on everything witchcraft?
Yes, I do.
Has anything ever happened to you or like someone close to you that it's like, oh, there's proof that it does?
You see, I believe in it because my family believes in it. Like my mom says that when she was little, a ella le tocó ver a un familiar que le dijeron que tenía witchcraft and like cómo ayudarle a esa persona. She was little, so her family was like helping him out, and she's like, estaba la persona internada en el hospital, nunca le pudieron encontrar nada, but then they went to somebody and they're like, he has witchcraft because of so and and blah blah blah, and it actually, she says like, you know, le empezaron a hacer like a tipo limpieza or something to like cure the person, and it started working, and then the person who did it, or they told him he did it, they're like, le va a pasar cosas malas, and my mom says that person ended up, le empezaron a cortar like pedazos del cuerpo. Like she ended up like in a tragic life. So I was like, oh shit. So I believe in that. I believe in que te hacen ojo. Yo siempre quiero que hacen ojo. Siempre tengo el pelo like pinche bruja, toda loca. Girl. And my mom is the one that when I was younger, she was like, ay, qué pelo tan feo, and like, and me empezó a doler la cabeza, and she's like, ay, se me hace que te hice ojo. And then one time me tocó con Jimena when she was a baby. Siento que siempre me la chuleaban de chiquita. Y fuimos a la tienda. I went like grocery shopping. It was just like me with her. And I remember this morenita. She's like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. Y que no sé qué. And me la estaba chuleando. But then after that, Jimena was just crying and crying. And Jimena was not like she was scared. Right. But she just wouldn't stop crying. We got home and she was just crying for like 2 hours. And I was like, what is going on? Mama was like, cúrala de ojo. And she told me what to do. And as soon as I stopped, like she stopped.
¿Con el huevo? Or
yeah, con el huevo. So I was like, so I believe in stuff like that. Yeah. Like I do. I believe people te desean mal and that bad energy is going to affect you.
Even if you try to be like positive. Like,
I think so, because Juan is very much, he doesn't believe in that stuff.
He's like my mom. You know,
yes.
Do you really think they don't believe, or they just want to like pretend like they don't believe, but they really do?
I don't know.
Because that's my mom.
Yeah, and I feel like he gets it from her. I don't know if he pretends to. It's because I think he says that if you believe in it, es cuando te afecta.
Happen, ¿verdad? That's
cuando te afecta. Yeah. But I'm like, no, people te van a desear mal y te van a hacer algo y te va a afectar anyway, whether you believe in it or not. At least that's the way I think. Because, like, we're here minding our own business, but if someone but like I said, I believe in people like que se hacen brujería. So if they go somewhere, like I don't know how they do it. I could only imagine que te roban un pedazo de pelo or something of yours, or just your fucking picture. Y te va a ir mal.
And now with social media, girl, anybody can get a picture.
Yes, like, you know, and the thing is also, like, on social media, you're gonna post your best moments. Right. Like I saw your friend, so you're gonna post your best moments. So people are thinking like, oh, you're having a good time, or you have nice things or something. Not knowing really what goes behind, like the struggles or whatever, and they're just gonna hate on you because like, oh, they have this and that or whatever,
and that's enough to like ruin a moment. Or,
it is. So I think a pesar de que también vamos a poner que you bought a new car and someone tells you like, and you feel happy about it, and they're like, it's okay. It's probably going to make you feel bad. Yeah. You know, just that is going to make you feel bad. So it's already bringing bad energy. But then it's like, oh, espero que choque. I feel like it might attract it. I feel like...
No, yes, I agree.
You know,
I agree.
And I should start probably saying, quiero ser millonaria, a ver si pasa.
A
If
ver
I'm
si
totally
pasa.
thinking about all this. But like I said, I'm very realistic. But I feel like, yeah, bad energy, bad juju, voodoo, all that. I feel like it exists. I feel like there are people out there doing it.
Yeah. You think you could sense it? Like if you had someone around you and you could just tell, like, it's like, yeah, they're not good people, or they're not bringing
I feel
good
like I feel like you can, because I feel like I know when someone doesn't like me. Like, and I feel like, and I'm not saying like, oh no, I'm not saying like I'm this shit and people don't like me. It's not that. I'm just saying, I feel like well, I've been told, first of all, I've been told that people, like when I meet someone, they're like, oh, I thought you were stuck up. I'm like, no, I'm not stuck up. I'm just,
observant.
I'm not quiet because I talk a lot, but I'm shy till I know you. That's when I'm gonna talk like my ass off. But I'm like, I don't like being rejected. I don't like being rejected, so I'm just gonna keep quiet till you talk to me. So stuff like that. So I feel like, oh, there, I thought you were stuck up or something, and te miran mal, o te están viendo, and I'm like, okay, that person doesn't like me. I could sense that. Or for instance, like family members, when they don't like you and stuff, you could tell when they don't like you. You could sense it.
I think it's worse. No, it's just like, I feel like sometimes it'd be like the people that are closest to you that are not,
supportive.
Right?
Yeah, and the thing is that yo no soy confianzuda. And I keep, like I said, I don't have friends. I keep to myself. I go out, tengo conocidos. So, like, once I'm out there, I don't want to be like, ay, esta es una amargada. No. Tengo conocidos, and if I go out, I'm going to have a good time. Right. But as far as close friends, and, like, I have someone that I trust or whatever, it's probably going to be, like, my sister and Karen, because that's who I, like, talk to the most, if I do. But I feel like we're more relatable because we're mothers and because we've known each other for a very long time, like so many years, since we were in high school. But I feel like a veces tu propia sangre, those are the haters. And like I said, no soy confianzuda, but I feel like Juan is. I feel like Juan likes to, like, and it's not because I feel like he doesn't want to see the bad in people. He's very positive. And I'm very much like, I'm not gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. If I could feel like you're not, I'm not gonna talk to you, and I don't want that person around us. I also told Juan, not everybody's welcome in your house. Don't bring everyone in here. Like, you don't. They're not. They bring bad vibes. They don't like something or whatever. Yes. And no estoy convencida, but like a veces sí, like por querer complacer or something. Like whenever my kids were younger, when we had just got the house, I did have a lot of people at the house, some people that I didn't really want to invite, but okay, let me be nice.
Yeah.
Y hubo una vez cuando Juan me dijo a mí que it was actually someone from my side of the family, le dijo, because our home is an older home, but it's remodeled, Right. He worked very hard to remodel our home. And le dijo esa persona, oh, tu casa se mira viejita por afuera, pero por dentro está bien. And I'm like, that's already bringing bad vibes and shit to your house. Like, that's just bad. And it's like, you could have kept that to yourself.
Yeah.
Or there's like stuff like,
how would like if they would have told you that, how would have you like reacted to that comment?
I probably would have been like, ay, pues la casa de usted también está viejita y la arregló, pero no está bonita.
Yeah.
But I'm very much like, I probably wouldn't have said that shit. No, because it's an older person.
Oh, okay.
So I probably would have kept it to myself.
Yeah.
And I'm also the type that I don't say much till I really explode. That's when I'm like, I'm not gonna. But it's an older person, and because I'm just trying to avoid certain issues.
Okay.
But that person wasn't invited to my home again. So, yeah. Like right now, like Juan and I, like I'll tell him, like we keep, a smaller amount of people to the house. Like it's you guys. Well, you guys are a lot of siblings, so it's just young.
That's
enough, my sister. I know. I'm like, we're trying to have a party, and there's a lot of people already. But it's like that, or my sister, Karen. Like I said, I've known her for a long time, and his group of friends, who he's also known since like high school, or like that he's really close to, and it's just like 5 guys or so. Yeah. And now their wives and stuff like that. But besides that, like I said, you could tell who likes you, who doesn't. Quien te desea bien, quien te desea mal.
Right.
And I've told them, I'm like, no, there's even family and stuff like, and I've told them, I'm like, so and so doesn't like you. Just stop sharing shit.
Right.
Stop it, porque. And like we talked about it last time, te lo van a salar. And I do feel que sí te lo salan. Yo sí siento que te salan cosas porque te desean mal and stuff. Or, I'm sorry, or te ven feo o nada más van a, like, they just start they start acting weird with you. So
Yeah.
I told Pelon, I'm like, don't share certain things with certain people.
I guess he's like, he gets that from like my dad and my mom,
Yeah.
you know, because I feel like I'm more like you in a way where it's like, if I'm too like myself. It's like I like keeping stuff to myself.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's like a moment when it's like, okay, I watch like all this other podcast and it's like, you know, you got to be optimistic, positive,
And
and
not just that,
manifest
you're
things.
happy and you want
Yeah.
to share happy things. But the thing is that
Pero a veces no.
it's because you're happy, you want to share it.
Yeah.
But it sucks that other people don't want to
Don't-
see you
right.
happy and stuff. Like,
No, and it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. You know, I feel like since I started sharing less on social media, like my life has been like so much better.
Yeah.
And when I was sharing a lot, it was like, dang, cosa
Yeah,
o sea,
yeah.
back to back,
Oh,
back,
yes.
you know? And I was like, okay. And Caesar would tell me too, he's like, you know, I think it's someone close to you or something, you know?
No, and it's true. And nosotros,
Yeah.
like, también I feel like that happened. Girl, it was a time cuando a Pelón se les compuso una work ban. Y a mí luego me pegaron en la truck. And then your tire pops. And you may think like, oh, it's just a coincidence. Like, stop being like that. But it's so many things at that one time that
right.
happen. Seguidas. And it's like, okay, stop sharing. Stop telling people stuff. Stop.
Right.
Because you never know.
Yeah.
People don't want to see you happy. A lot of people, and it sucks.
Yeah. Like I
lot of
said, yeah. And it'd be people
Yeah.
close to you, so that sucks.
And you might not be like the richest person, but they still
Girl.
find any little thing to like.
Yeah. O que eres creído, o que esto, que
No,
lo
oh,
otro.
sí, oh, que eres presumido, tienen esto. Like, no.
Yeah. Okay, she's a stay-at-home mom.
She's
She's
bien
a MILF.
huevona.
No hace nada.
No hace
Ah.
nada. Y'all gonna see the day que me opere. I see now. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Ay, hablando de operadas, like, we went to Sam's and there was this lady, and it's like, she had obviously a BBL. I feel so bad for her because, like, it was,
Me quedó bien fea.
see, it was done so
little
wrong.
legs.
It was the little legs, and her butt wasn't, like, completa. Like, estaba como, like, así, literally.
Oh,
Instead of,
no,
like,
yes.
I
I
felt
know
bad.
what you're talking
I
about. Like the
know.
SpongeBob booty.
Yes. And I felt so bad for her because I was like, ay, no la quiero criticar. And obviously, ahorita
Yeah.
la estoy criticando. Pero en ese momento, I was just like, fuck.
Lo malo es que gastan el dinero. Y luego,
Girl.
yo por eso
And-
ya encontré el doctor perfecto. Nada más me hace falta el dinero.
Yeah.
Like, I already did
Girl,
my
I'll
research.
take care of you. I'll take care of you.
Oh, and that Pelon's like, no, it's because you're going to suffer. Don't worry about it.
It'll be
you're
worth
gonna
it.
like it afterwards.
Yeah. I
Somebody
mean,
convince him.
yeah.
Oh, no. Primero
If
me
you're
hizo que ganara-
watching this,
Primero
yes.
me hizo que ganar la lotería, though.
Oh.
'Cause
Oh, es como el meme.
it's because we
ese.
have the bills, the truck, the van, insurance, food, kids' clothes. Oh, it's too much.
5 dogs.
Yes, the dog food is expensive.
It
And then
is.
just Frenchies are expensive as hell. Like, they're so delicate.
Yeah.
So, anybody wants a Frenchie? There's 2 for sale.
Girl, go ahead. Promote
Two for
Tejano
sale.
painting.
Tejano painting. If you need your house painted. My husband does great work. You could check him out on Instagram. Very professional.
We'll put his handle here.
Yeah, please do. So.
Yes.
Yeah. Very, very professional, though. For real, like, for real, very professional. It's
No
the-
porque es el husband,
No,
pero
it's not. Because it's the prep. Because I'm like, your work is so easy. Like, what the hell? And he's like, Genesis, it's a lot of prep work and isn't that? And I seen it. Like, he's taken me to a few jobs, and then like you do see like all the covering and all like they have to cover like holes. I'm like, oh no, that sucks.
It's
Y
a
la
lot.
lijada and all that. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. I
Well,
wouldn't
he
do that.
did my house too, so
Yeah.
you know.
Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get in touch with him.
Yes,
Is it hard being married to like a
7-play person.
right?
Yes, it is. Because the hours are not. It's not like I could say I know he's gonna be gone from 9 to 5. No, sometimes he has to be gone at 7 or he's gonna be back. There's been times that like he's gonna like out of town because he has to work. A veces han agarrado trabajo like close, New Braunfels or Port Aransas or whatever stuff like that. So that's difficult. It's also difficult to see him. Las cuentas and stuff like that. It's hard to see him knowing que a veces, you're struggling with work because you're not getting enough clientele. And it's like, damn, where am I going to get my next job? And I don't want him to stress out about that.
And people don't see that behind doors.
They
It's
don't.
like you're saying, people are criticizing you, like era bien creído, or he has it all. Es creído.
Yeah,
He got a new truck, but they don't really see the struggles.
And
huh?
he busts his ass también. Like, a veces viene que he does the smallest thing, like, oh, tienes una cortada, and I feel bad, like little things like that. Or his back hurts. They have to carry heavy stuff, and it sucks seeing that. But I'm very thankful that he works very hard to like no me falta nada. And I thank him for that. No me falta nada. No tengo designer stuff. But that's because I don't want to también. Because he's telling me like, oh, I'll buy you so-and-so shoes. And I'm like, no, I don't need that shit.
Yeah.
No, pero no me hace falta nada. And I thank him because he works really hard for that. También a los niños no les hace falta nada. And they're spoiled. They're a little spoiled. So, and it's not like we buy expensive things, but, you know, we have what we need and we have a lot of the things that we want.
Right.
So I thank him for that, but it sucks to see. And I've seen him, you know, I've seen him be frustrated, stressed. Like I told him, he says that I drive him nuts, but I'm like, no, because he talks in his sleep. And I'm like, you're always bitching at the workers or something about work. It's always about work. It's never about me. So I don't stress you out that bad.
Yeah.
So I feel bad having to see him stress a little bit. Yeah, and it's hard, but, you know, he's doing what he has to do.
Is it hard having like alone time or date nights?
Yo, it's hard as a couple. It's hard because he has to work, and then it's like I have to work this night. Sometimes he has to work in the weekends. It's hard because of the kids. The kids are always there. And usually when we'll go out, it's like to MMA fights, which I like. I actually like. He has the gym he goes to. His friends do like MMA fights and stuff, and we'll go.
And your kids, no? Is that what they're? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
they take
yeah.
classes?
My kids are learning MMA and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
To defend us. But we'll go to that. But I'm like, I want something just for me, you know. Yeah. Or like we'll go out, like it's his friend's birthday, and we'll go out, but it's like a whole bunch of people there, you know. Usually he'll be with his friends, and I'll be with the girls right there. It's nice. But I feel like I need a little bit more alone time with him. Also, like, we've been together so long. It's already going to be, I believe it's 13 years. Yes. And in June, vamos a estar 13 años juntos. In April, we're going to be 8 years married. But I know, you know, we get bored. Yeah. We get frustrated with each other. I'm not going to lie.
Nothing's perfect.
No, they're not. No, relationships are hard. And then it's harder, you know, when kids are involved, when bills, life, you know, all this is, you know, getting involved. It's just hard.
It's just hard having alone time.
Yeah, alone time. And, you know, just struggling with your own issues and stuff. And, like, I feel like sometimes when you're so frustrated, you just want to, like, you know, be alone and not communicate. And I feel like also men don't communicate. Something that we need to work out on.
Do you have a problem with, like, well, I guess like with guys, husbands following like other females and following females and liking pictures on Instagram?
I do. I have an issue.
You think it's disrespectful?
I do, because like, I mean, it depends who you're with, but I feel like, let's say for me, if I'm not doing it, then why do you do it? Type of shit like that. So for me, it's disrespectful. Also, like a lot of the times, a mí me ha tocado que I've gotten like little hearts from certain men. I'm like, oh, you're married. I'm like, go be with your wife. You know, I'm fat. Don't. Like, it's true. Like, why would you, you know? I feel like if you would dedicate more time to your better half, maybe that person would be a little happier with you and do some of the things you might like. I don't know. But I think it's disrespectful because some people could be like, oh, it's just like, it's just, but no, it's hurtful. Like, go look at your wife mejor.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. I think it's rude.
So no man, in your opinion, married or in a relationship?
In a relationship too, yeah. Because I feel like if you're looking at something else because you're not happy with what you have, and then that makes your better half feel even more self-conscious or something. You know, like, no. Especially if your wife or so isn't doing it, then don't do it either.
Yeah.
No hagas lo que no quieres que te hagan a ti.
No, I agree. Even if it's like someone that they can't have.
If it's like an artist, it's fine. But if it's a local hoe, don't do it.
What if it's one of those like only fangirls? Because, you know, I've seen those a lot.
Oh, I'll be furious.
Yeah, I think so too.
Super furious.
And you know the lame excuse that I give from like that I've heard of guys is like, well, they come up on my.
Oh yes, they only come up because that's what you're searching for. Hello, like
that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
my fat ass is searching for food, and that's all it comes out. I'm not like, you don't see no muscles and like little. Yeah. How do you say, like the print on the great pants? You're not seeing that on my news feed. So no, it's the way it works is because that's what you're looking for.
That's exactly what it
So
is.
I think it's rude, it's ugly, it's disrespectful.
And that's just, yeah, because I feel like a lot of guys will think like, oh, you're just insecure. No,
Yeah.
it's rude.
Maybe in my in my opinion, at least for me, I'm gonna be completely honest. I am insecure.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said about a lot of things, my body change and this and that. I am insecure. También soy celosa,
Mm.
but I just think it's rude. I think it's ugly. Like I don't know. Just dedicate more time to your better half,
Yeah.
and they'll. I don't know. They'll. I'm the type of person like soy enojona también,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pretty sure Pelona at the house be like, oh, she's so annoying or something.
Yeah.
But when I'm happy, I'm gonna be nice and all. But just the likes, I'll be mad as hell.
Yeah.
I know you're just gonna have me in a bad mood all day.
Mm-hmm.
So please don't do it.
Yeah. No, I agree. What are your like? What's your opinion on like schools? You know, I don't know if schools have this, but I have been to like certain. I think it's like restaurants. I don't know if I've seen any here, but like I've been to places where they have restaurants and it's like same sex, uh, gender like
Mm.
restrooms where it's like guys, females and males are welcome to
Oh.
use. You as a mother having kids, because I'm assuming you still go to the restroom with your kids, right? You
Yes.
don't let them
Yes.
go.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
I go with them everywhere. I've never been to a restaurant. I went to what is it, Riches back in the day, and it was
Yeah.
like that, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Please no. So I felt uncomfortable when I was growing. I was going to like a club, so
Yeah.
and it was weird. So imagine me now, especially with kids. No, I wouldn't like it. I
Yeah.
will walk right out of there and take them to the car. Probably put a diaper on everybody.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't
Are
like
you
that.
okay with schools like teaching like kids at a young age?
I wouldn't like it.
LGBT, I said I said it backwards.
LGBTQ
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
I personally don't have anything against gays, lesbians, transgender, whatever, bisexuals. If you want to do whatever you want to do, do it. One thing I do have something against is, and I saw, que like the men who like little kids, they're called maps or some shit like that.
I didn't know that.
That I am very much against.
Oh
it.
no.
I am. That is one thing. No, because I saw that they were justifying like, oh, you're allowed to like love whoever you want at whatever age. Fuck no. Fuck no. You're disgusting.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that gave me goosebumps.
Yes, that is horrible. That is one thing I'm not with at all. But if you want to be lesbian, gay, blah blah blah, blah, cool. I don't mind. I don't think I have like conocidos que sean like gays. But if I do, no, I do know some people. I don't care. But I wouldn't want my kids learning about it at school. Just like I wouldn't want them at a young age learning about them class like in high school, sex ed type of shit. I wouldn't want them learning any of that. Because también, and me ha tocado, like we're out and there's like a transgender person and my kid will be like, is that a boy or a girl? And I feel embarrassed. But it's not on me, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
So I just be like, oh, it's a girl. They want to dress like that, whatever, or
It's
a
like,
guy.
yeah.
But I don't want them to feel confused at this age or feel that in order to fit in, like maybe they might think it's a fad or something, and in order to fit in, like I have to like
Oh.
guys too or girls too, blah, blah, blah. I don't want them that. Now, I have had this conversation with my husband, and I have told him if when my kids grow up, they turn out to be gay or lesbian, I'm going to be supportive. I will be 100% supportive. I'm not going to try to change them or anything. Because it's not like, I'm not homophobic. I'm not. But I don't want them to learn about it at a young age. I feel like there's a time, and that time probably be like maybe around their teens, because then, you start having crushes here and there. So that might be a good time. But as kids, let them be kids. Let them play with Barbies and dinosaurs and this and that. Like, no, I don't think that's a subject that should be shown in
Discuss at
school.
a
Yeah.
young age.
Because I saw that image about,
Yeah, you
like,
saw- yeah.
it was a devil dressed in rainbow, and the kids, no, that's, no, I'm not going to say lesbians and gays and stuff are, like, from hell. And
know.
no, I'm not. I'm not saying that at all. That image was very horrible, though. But I don't want it being shown to my kids. And as a matter of fact, Jimena did ask me what's gay. And I didn't know what to say. And then, thank God, we got busy with something else, so I didn't talk about it. But then she came back the next day, and she told me, oh, I know what gay is. My friend told me that it's when two boys like each other, two girls like each other. And I'm like, oh, my God.
gosh.
And it sucks because you cannot shield your kids from everything.
Right.
I just feel like nowadays kids are growing very, very, very fast,
Mm-hmm.
extremely fast. Um, but I was like, okay, pues she knows. And I told her, I'm like, when you're grown,
Mm-hmm.
you make certain decisions. If they like to each other, pues that's them. But thank God I feel like she's pretty mature and pretty like,
Advanced.
yeah. So hopefully she doesn't feel, or like think too much about it. But
But I'm guessing you do like teach them, right? Like it's like sort of how to be, what do you call it? Like protective, like in a way where it's like you do not allow certain person to touch you here
yes.
or to.
Yeah, no, I tell them, yes, I do. I'm like, you cannot, you know, let anyone touch you. I don't give a damn who it is.
There's so many crazy
And
people
if
out
they
there.
tell you, don't tell your mom or your dad, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to scream for me.
Yeah.
You don't. I told them, I'm like, I'm not allowed to touch you there either. Your dad's not allowed. And I've told them, I'm like, you cannot be showing your private parts either.
Mm-hmm.
My son tends to like, I gotta pee. Se está bajando los pantalones. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, wait till you're in the restroom.
Yeah.
And Jimena, que entiende más, I've told her, like, you're grown. There's going to be a lot of bad people trying to do a lot of bad stuff. You don't let anybody touch you
Mm-hmm.
anywhere or try to do something to you or show you anything that you're not supposed to and tell you, like,
Yeah.
don't tell your mom. No. You're going to tell me. I don't give a damn what it is. Because I remember my mom telling me que si te tocan y que no sé qué, and if they tell you, I'm going to kill your mom. No es cierto. No me van a hacer nada. Tú me dices.
Yeah.
So I remember that. And I'm trying to tell my kids the same thing.
Right. No, it's hard. I feel like it's scary being a
Oh,
parent.
yes,
There's
it
so
is.
many.
Yes.
Yes, girl.
You see,
I mean, as
all
a
kinds-
female yourself, you're already dealing with like having to be on high alert. You can't even go. I don't know if you heard about the girl that went missing. I think she was a 27-year-old in a leaf. She went missing walking her dog.
Yes, I saw it.
And she didn't even take her cell phone because it was just like, I'm guessing, like a quick, walk just so that they could pee or something. Yeah. So it's like, as a female, you already deal with a lot. Yeah. There's a lot of girls getting followed at the store. Yeah. So imagine having kids, it's like you have
I fear for my kids,
Yes.
And I also like okay, I probably am scared of like dying, but it's not so much as I'm scared. It's just, I don't want to leave my kids. I feel like my mom's going to love them, Juan, you're my mother-in-law and all that, but I feel like no one's going to take care of them and love them the way I do.
Right.
And I feel like my priority are my kids. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't want to leave them in this world with all these crazy people and stuff. And I mean, I like, even right now when they're in school, I am scared for them because you don't know what's going on in school. Mm-hmm. I'm just hoping for the best and I pray for the best. But if I could shield them from everything, I would have them in a little bubble.
I know. Did you hear about the girl that I think it was like a 2-year-old that got ran over? It was here in Houston by the Uber driver.
It was the parents'
I was just going to ask you, what do you think? Who do you think is at
I'm
fault?
sorry for that, but it was the parents' fault. You're supposed to watch your kids. I saw them walking.
Yes.
And leaving the kid behind. No.
And then the first thing they do,
go hit the man instead of. I saw them trying to move her, but bitch, if you're gonna get him out the car, get him the fuck out the car and then move the car. Like, you're wasting time while hitting the man. But it is 100% the family's fault. I agree. It is not a stranger's responsibility to keep an eye on your child. It is yours. Yeah. Like, for example, in the smallest thing, like, a veces que Juan, que they say, okay, let's go to a fight. A lot of times I had to stay home because I have to take care of the kids. Yeah. And I'm like, no, it's not. He'll tell me, like, I'll tell my sisters to watch them. Yeah. And I'm like, it's not your sister's responsibility. It's nobody but ours. Mm-hmm. So I got to stay home. Yeah. But, but
then again, like you're saying, no one's going to take care of them or give them that attention like you do. Yeah. So I agree. Before we wrap this up, it is overthinking. Mm-hmm. Are you an overthinker?
Of course, 100%.
What is something that you constantly overthink?
I overthink a lot about whether I'm being a good parent. Mm-hmm. I do. That's like on my mind all the time. I want to make sure that, because I feel like sometimes when I see adults and they have certain issues, I feel like a lot of the time, not always, but a lot of times it does fall back on the parents. Yeah. So I'm hoping I'm doing a good enough job to make sure that my kids grow up to be good humans. Mm-hmm. And I overthink a lot about just me. Like I said, I feel like I have no identity. I'm just mom and wife. I'm not Genesis anymore. I feel like I don't know me. So I overthink. Like, I do want to, start working. And there's something I want to do, but I overthink, like, will I be successful in it? Will it go good?
You just got to start. You won't know until you do it.
That's the thing, yeah. And I need to tell myself that. But, hopefully, starts school, si Dios quiere, ahora en agosto. So hopefully after that, I'll have a little bit more time on my hands because I'll just have Arlen. And I'll definitely will start on that. Hopefully before that, but for sure, then yes. So I overthink that, career-wise or, working. Am I going to be good at it? Am I going to be that and being a good parent?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's natural for everyone to be an overthinker.
Yes.
If there's anyone out there saying they're not, I think they're lying.
No.
Yeah. What advice or what message would you send out to like any other stay-at-home mothers that are feeling overwhelmed? Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of women out there that might feel like you know?
Advice, not really advice, because then I would like, then you take it yourself and feel better about yourself. But if you're feeling overwhelmed with being a mother and just at home and lonely, I think whenever you feel that bad, like frustrated and stuff, just look at your kids again and just think they're gonna grow up. They're not gonna be this little. Aprovechalos, because time flies. Before you know it, they're not gonna want to hug you all the time and be, touching you, and they're not gonna want that. They're gonna grow up and they're gonna end up leaving your house one day, making their, hacer sus propias vidas. So enjoy that. When you're frustrated, just breathe a little bit and be like, okay, there's annoying because they love me and they feel comfortable with me. Time will pass, and also find something that you love and try to do that. If you don't have time, then I don't know, do it at nighttime. But no, at least for me, I feel like what has helped me out is going to the gym. Like I said, I haven't lost a lot of weight because I'm still eating really bad. I should just eat better. But I feel like that's my alone time. I have met some great women, and a man, because the owner of the gym that I go to right now, he's a great man right now. Like, I mean, he's a great man and he's very nice and everything. If I have a question about work, he's very helpful, and very respectful. So I think working out, I feel like it'll help a lot of women feel a lot better. A lot. You let stress go. It's your alone time. And then you start seeing a change in your body. It's definitely not going to be overnight. I wish it was. Yeah. But it's, love your kids, take care of your kids, and try working out a little bit.
Thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else that you want to say or share or message? Or, I mean, we already promoted Tejano painting.
Follow Tejano painting. Follow Tejano Frenchies. No, whenever I decide my little career path.
Yes, you come back and you share
that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Genesis, for making time. Again, I'm sorry. I know I had to bother you again.
No problem. If y'all hear the kids in the background, my bad. Yeah. No, that's my youngest. She's bad.
It's okay. I mean, we have to work around it. Yeah. I know you're busy. So, having you here again, I'm honored. Because it's like, yes, a lot of people don't want to record. So thank you.
No, thank you for inviting me. And, hopefully it was interesting enough.
Of course it was. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you again, Genesis. And I will see you next time.